Well, obviously we're going to try and help at the back, but we're going to be quite limited in how we actually get round to the back.
I don't know if they did actually, no. Ryan? Right.
Guys, can I
Try and get round the back.
Okay. To make things a little bit easier, because it's a little bit difficult just to work with everyone being in here, can I just get everyone just to move to where the pavement is? And I'm more than happy for you guys to be there and record and all the rest of it if you want to. But it just makes
Is there any legal requirement to do that?
Is there a legal requirement to do that? I'm not asking you to do that under any powers. I'm asking you to do that.
I was asking. I weren't trying to be difficult. I'm just trying to establish, ascertain where we're at.
Yeah, that's fine, that's okay. I don't have an issue with that. Like I said, all I'm going to do is ask for that. If you're telling me you don't want to do that, you don't want to do that.
I'm not even saying that. I'm looking to film you lot, really.
Okay.
For everyone's safety.
Okay, for everyone's safety.
Yeah.
So what do you think that we're going to do to you guys?
I think that's not the point. That's not why we're here. But That's
the point you just made was that we taking filming us for your safety.
Yeah. For everyone's safety.
For everyone's safety.
Okay.
That includes yours, though, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, filming for my own safety.
I have no issues with anyone recording or you recording how you're doing it. I've got no issues with that. All I'm saying is for the purposes of us to be able to figure out what it is that's actually going on here and how we can try and help and resolve things. It's difficult to do that with people rustling around on the stones. I can't.
We've got as many rights over this piece of land as you have, officer.
News on the stones. I'm not making it specific to you.
Piers Corbyn's making assertions.
There's quite a few. There's quite. And again, that's
polite assertions.
That's what I've asked for. You don't want to do that. That's fine. All I'm ever going to do is just try and clarify on what it is that I'm saying, isn't it? Okay. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, fine.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Say that again.
We've got more busies coming up. We've got accident and emergency. These people are supposed to have their blues and twos on to come to an emergency. They're emergency response workers, and they're putting their lights on to come here. By the sounds of it.
Yeah. Obviously, just tell him nobody's going to harm you.
Well, can't you get the access to the neighbors so you can talk to them? Because you can literally talk to them in their backyard. Can you please do that?
Are you a squatter?
Okay, I can certainly ask for that, but I'd still, me personally, would still like to come in and be able to speak to someone here and just get a better understanding of what it is exactly that's going on. Because it's very difficult for me to try and do my job and try and figure out what's going on and how I can help everyone that's here, because everyone's obviously here for a reason, but it's easier for me to know exactly what it is that I can do to try and help whatever situation is going on here, if I can come in and actually have a chat. And it's not, you know, there are people talking out here, there are some people that are moving around, it makes it a little bit difficult for me to really hear you. So if you're able to open the door for me so I can actually come in and have a chat, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Looking next door.
Lovely, thank you.
No, I just asked him if he was a squatter.
No, he said, again, I couldn't even tell you exactly because I couldn't hear exactly what he was saying because of the noise and the rustling and stuff, but I don't think that he's necessarily,
just gone in next door.
Necessarily is one.
Right, he sounds like a squatter to me, boys.
Yeah?
Yeah, it sounds like it. It's got that sound.
What? I'd tread very carefully with your next words.
Go on.
Because when you say something along the lines of
film this,
he sounds like a squatter boys, and then say he's got that sound, it makes it sound like you're
what, a squatter sound? The sound of a squatter?
No, that you're making an assumptions based on someone's voice and how they sound.
Right. And what's the matter with that?
What I'm trying to say to you is
that... Are you filming this? Can you zoom into his face or something?
He said that he sounds like a squatter boys, and then after that he's made a comment to say...
At the moment, you stand outside there, can you just move up the driveway?
Piers Corbyn told me that I don't need to.
Sound like?
Okay, can you just stand
exactly.
So what does a squatter sound like?
Well, that's what we're asking you.
So that's why I said you have to be very careful what your next words are, because what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to prevent you from saying something that you might later regret. That's all I'm saying. That's all it is.
I'm in my 30s and that, bruv.
So am I.
Right, so I don't need you to tell me to be careful, do I? It's like I'm stood in the middle of a road.
I'm trying to help here, aren't I?
Right. I don't think you are. I think you're trying to assert some sort of dominance and some sort of power, is what it feels like to me. Okay. The same as you keep trying to asking people to get off the thing because of the sounds it's making, the pebbles. Because of the sounds it's making.
I've asked once.
It's a mental. It was a mental thing to say because of the sounds it's making.
Okay, I've asked once if people would do me the kindness of stepping back that way so I can continue to do my job here.
Right, well I'm just trying to do my job.
One of the things that I said is that what makes it difficult for me to try and talk to whoever's behind the door and get a sense of what's going on is the rustling of the stones. Because it is, for me, it's quite loud. I mean, you might say it's funny, but you can hear that. People, every time someone walks, the stones rustle. It makes it difficult.
I've got to show some sort of compassion for the old auditory issues and that, because I do get it, but I think it's a shit argument nonetheless.
Was earlier. This gentleman's moved from where he's been. Some people from over there.
Should you have a little mooch across the stones? Sorry, Piers. Don't step on the stones. Make no noise on the stones.
Right, what they're committing now is you need to get documents out.
Documents?
You've got documents at the back. There's one policy officer here. No one without his hat or helmet on. Don't know why. Not in full correct
uniform. He's young.
He's a Bobby.
Baby
Bobby. Baby. What's he doing here? Piers Smelly Corbyn.
Yeah, Piers. Little bit of interaction. What's going on here? It seems like he's blocking your freedom of movement.
He seems to be trying to block my freedom of movement to see my friends around the back of this property.
What's the cause for this blocking of freedom of movement?
I've been advised by my sergeant that I can't let anyone through.
Okay, you can't go around the side. Can you step back?
Hang on, please don't touch me. Film me touching me. Film me touching me. Please don't touch me.
I'm asking you now.
Yeah, I'm asking you, please not touch me. Just because you've got a gun on you, don't think you can touch people. Right, Sergeant, please talk to me with some dignity and decency. Or else.
Okay. Sir, stand back past these police officers.
No, I'm standing here.
Past these police officers.
I like this sound of.
You're on somebody else's driveway right now, so stand back there.
Landowner then.
It's not a driveway.
Huh?
It's not a driveway.
Is he gonna move? Tell him to move.
It's on my bank.
Delegate.
Yeah, might as well, mightn't I?
You were sergeant, didn't you?
Yeah, might as well delegate.
Be amicable and we'll get somewhere.
Okay, so what I need is a bit of.
Don't shout at me, I'm next to you.
What I need.
Jump away, man. Jump away.
It's for you guys to work with us a
fight you
bit.
Les again.
So we can find out exactly what's happening.
I'm being horrible to the old man. Don't be horrible to him.
I'm not being horrible.
Sorry.
So we can find out what's happening.
Right.
I need some space to the front of the property.
What about the sound of the treading on the pebbles?
Yeah, whatever. Let's stand on the pavement and then we can sort out what's actually happening.
What is actually happening?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out.
Sean, do you know? You're not allowed to be behind there.
Okay.
Can you film him?
Stand. You coming out? Pass these police officers here.
Well, I don't like the way he's touching me. Yeah, let's go and stand next to Piersy. Piersy has it with the... Sergeant.
I want you to just move forward slightly to that green bin.
No, listen, there's two gentlemen inside. There's two gentlemen inside.
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
Please come out. You're acting unlawfully.
Everyone's safety. More with the blue lights and the hats. Film them. Touching the dogs. Film them playing with the dogs. On duty with the old yoke. Go and film the on duty code. Fuck it. Don't. Yeah, he just told her not to let anyone come past. Yeah. Right, can we get a measure up?
You guys fill in the gaps in this corner for the moment.
Right, this is going to run out of battery. 72%. It's all right.
I've got 2 battery packs, so I need to be connected.
I'm looking at you.
Oh, me?
No, the gather.
Oh, right.
Have a film of her. Turn around.
By law, you're supposed to state your name.
State your name. I remember that song when I was a child.
PC Sage 81878. And what station are you based at? Grays Police Station.
Grays.
They know the law, they don't.
They don't.
They don't.
He knows.
They're all kids, most of them.
It's mental, isn't it?
It's actually quite scary.
It's very scary. It's been like this for about 10 years.
This one, and this one.
Alright, don't sing them
Anyone
up.
else not from Grays?
You know the legislation.
They're all from Grays.
Right, I need to go back a bit.
This has got to be next to that.
And then I can
They're all
move.
from Grays Police Station. You've got 81469, Constable Salmon. Is that correct? 81878, Constable Sage.
Just doing the morning.
What's your name and badge number, please? PC Topley, 82537.
PC Taylor, 82734.
PC Taylor 82734.
PC Harrison 82542.
Speak up, I can't hear. PC Harrison 82542. Thank you very much.
To stop people from getting through the line.
78184 O'Shea.
O'Shea. That's a lovely Irish name there, fella. Sure.
How comes you ain't sergeant?
PC Perez.
Obviously the oldest, isn't you?
PC Perez 74098, mate. All right.
Require there.
Any more for any more?
No, I ain't trying.
I'm assuming as you're on duty, you all carry any warrant cards with you, yes? Okay.
I'm not trying to incite stuff and get you all riled up. Look carefully. Why are you all standing in a line protecting a building that is got metal material around every window and bolted at every door that you can't get into? See, this is the reason that taxpayers get the because you're all standing there, 6 muppets is what I'm looking at. You all swore an oath to serve the public and to protect this land. Let's be honest, what the fuck are you protecting? You're protecting a locked building that no one can get into.
The bank's investment.
When you've got missing kids out there, you've got people being stabbed, people being rushed to hospital, and you're all standing there like a bunch of fucking muppets wearing the uniform that every single one of us have paid for, and you all stand there looking at the floor, blank fucking face with a smug look on your face, doing jack shit. Don't you even say nothing. You're wearing so much makeup that blatantly ain't fucking issue, right? No, you shouldn't be wearing no makeup. We pay you to protect the public, not be fucking paid for a model. You want to do that, join OnlyFans.
I like this fella.
Yeah?
Gingerbeard's off our street.
Start wearing makeup to look pretty and all that, join OnlyFans. You want to be a police officer, be a fucking police officer and do what we pay you for. This is why we all get the
Angela, we're here.
You're fucking ridiculous, every single one of you. He still looks like he's on work experience. Stop swearing.
Oh,
Or what? Or what? Free speech. Public order offence. Who here is making a complaint? You can't be the inciting party. We pay you to protect the public. You can't arrest me for offence that you're inciting. Stop swearing. Fuck. What are you going to do? Free speech, mate. I know the law.
Sweet, nice one.
You can't incite a law when no one here is making a complaint. You're the complaining party. Can't do it, mate. It's against the law. I know my rights. Yeah, off you trot in your car, bye, back to work.
Big up the fella.
See, this is what you don't like. People who know their rights, mate. You like people who
Pushovers, they like.
don't work that way.
Stay here. Don't let him encroach. No further on our liberties than they already have and do. Day in, day out.
Draw the line. You should record what Angela said, if you can.
World Economic Forum bigwigs. We should all be on the same side, but unfortunately there's so many people that just sell their souls to the devil and they don't realise it. It's all about the pay package, not about the principles. I live my life by principles. I might be shit poor, but I have integrity and I go to sleep at night. I've done a fucking good job for the people around me and I'm trying to make better the world for my kids.
You should be ashamed of that.
And that's why I get myself in trouble. That's why I end up in court having to pay fines, because I am fighting for the truth, and the courts are all part of the club and you're part of the club, and every institution and every bank in England has a Mason's Lodge. You've got it, the black and white, they've got the white as well, so the goodness in you.
What about the checkered on their thing?
Yeah, that's just political bullshit, right? But let's be honest, right? If you're gonna be a true adult and have a decent IQ and look at both sides and be a reasonable adult, right? None of these can say anything, right? They're just as indoctrinated as we are.
Yeah, right.
There are laws in place where if any of these 6, if they see something that's wrong and the law that they've been taught is to do something else, do you think if any of these stood up and said, I'm not doing that because it's wrong, do you think any of them can do that?
They're supposed to.
They can't.
They're supposed to use their discretion though, aren't they? They're supposed to. That's the point though.
Because what?
And they're not. I'm saying they're not stopping. They're not stopping murder.
Well, neither are you. No, neither are you. No. Neither are you. We are all people of England.
Everybody who's working in a job and following orders from above and not
listen, I'm talking. Stop cutting in. You want to talk? I'll stop talking and you can talk, right? It's respect, yeah? No, I get that. I understand that. Well, everyone in this country has a responsibility to protect the land and the people in it. That I fully agree with, right? But when you're in a professional opinion where you're being paid by the taxpayer, right, we all understand you carry out your duty, right? But when that position is held above you, when our parliament ain't even in charge, right? People control our government, yeah? So it's not the parliament are in charge, because they're not. It's the elite that control the parliament, and then the parliament control everything underneath them, right? So if any of these were to turn around, that's it, right? Yeah, but overall, mate, let's be honest, they can. If you've got 50 fucking coppers and a fucking martial law turned up, mate, they'll have you on your arse in 5 minutes and in the back of the van. So, no, I'm not saying it's an excuse, right? But we all know to provide for your family, to provide for your children, you need to earn a living, right? Now, we can all sit here and argue the case, well, if you know what the police force is like, why join it, right? We can all argue that case, right? You can't persecute a person for their job criteria, right? Now, you can go for that job, that's fine, but under every job there's rules. Now, even speeding tickets, we all remember years ago you got pulled over, you didn't have a licence, so you got to spend 7-day wonder, yeah? Yeah, your producer, yeah? They can't even do that no more. Do you know by law they have to, it's on a point system. They have to actually pull over and they can't let you go. They have to do something. So they're under law to do something, even if they know it's wrong and they can't do nothing. And if they do speak up about it, they're sacked. Right? I'm not
saying they got quotas?
and saying it's right, but you have to look at both sides.
You're saying they got quotas of nickings to keep up with?
Yeah, they have to.
Yeah, right.
I've been told by many police officers that they themselves hate it.
Incentivise them to fuck with people.
The government, it's easy to say that. It's easy to say that and cast aspersions when you don't do shit yourself, let's be honest.
I've spent the last 3 years travelling up and down the country exposing child trafficking of public office holders and collecting evidence
and has anyone been arrested and charged?
No, but we're...
So you ain't done fuck all. So don't sit there and claim the moral high ground
I'm not on a moral
and say,
high ground.
I've been up and down because you ain't done nothing.
No,
you've done nothing. No one has been... No, I'm using your own logic. I'm a very smart man. I'm not stupid. I'm very educated and I'm repeating your words back to you. You told me, and I quote, for the past 3 years, I've been travelling up and down exposing child offences, right? Then I asked you, has anyone been arrested? You said no. Has anyone been prosecuted? You said no. So what you've done is told the public about these people, but in actual difference, you've done nothing.
No, because what we've done is we've assisted people to get their children back from social services.
No, you've done nothing.
You got a warrant for that area?
You've done nothing. So if these police officers said I've made change and they gave you no evidence of the contrary, you'd be saying the same thing to them. You can't argue one side when it only benefits you. It don't work that way. No, you've done nothing. You can't say for 3 years you've been doing this, that and the other, but there's no results.
It's not me, it's not just me on my own.
It doesn't matter how many of you there were. I asked you, has there been any convictions, anything? You said that is a fact. There is no evidence for anything you've done.
Absolutely, yeah, cool.
You can make videos and all the rest of it and post it, whatever, that's fine. You did. I asked you what you'd done, and you said you was exposing child trafficking.
You don't know me from Adam, and
no, but I asked if anyone's been arrested in anything. You said no.
You've given me.
So I asked for evidence, but you couldn't provide any.
I've got my laptop and my bundles in the car.
Yeah, of videos and people you've exposed and stuff like that. That's what. No, this ain't an argument because I'm not getting angry. I'm not getting in my feelings. That's not an argument. It's a civil debate, which is a fact.
It's not that she's done nothing.
No, it is that she's. No, she's trying, but the results. No, I'm not saying. No, because you're misconstruing my words. So let me explain it in a way that you can understand. Right? I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying overall she's done nothing. I'm saying evidence-wise, there is nothing. I'm not saying that she hasn't tried and she hasn't gone and done stuff.
What she's going against.
But she's not giving them time. You can't have it both. No. You can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways.
No, I've walked in on half this, so please explain.
Right. So she's arguing that they're doing nothing, which is granted, they're not. They're wasting our money just standing there.
It's starting to look good.
That's fine. But you can't have it like that. You probably have them like
numbers 814L9 and that policy officer. Please confirm you're under your oath.
Right, but let's be honest, either us or the police are going to do
under the threat of violence.
They threatened you with violence?
Well, by force, they're going to come over and take me. So yeah, threat of violence.
Threat of violence for what? It's not your property.
This is my property.
You can't remove someone from property you don't own.
How did they threaten you? What did they say?
How would you think you hold?
What did they
They
say?
said I had to leave or they were going to take my fault. But I have all of the documentation that all of your chief constables, Essex Police Commissioner, the Fire and Police Commissioner, the inspectors, the sergeants, the courts, everybody has been served, and by admission they are admitting this fraud. I've read this to all the officers round the back. All of your officers have received this via email, date stamped and timed, and I've recorded all hand deliveries to all police stations and courts in the area. This is a lawful reclaim of my home as per the law of this realm. You are here as...
If you realise we can access your trust, we can seize your property, we can make
There's
sure
a lane
you
on
don't
all
have
of your
this job
properties,
again.
you have the insurance
Your
for
cars, the lot, we can have everything.
I can read it all to you now if you wish. So
It's
you
all
know
there,
what
the
laws
judges have
you're
been
all
notified, the
breaking
police have been
as police
notified,
officers
your
and
chief
so on.
constable's been notified with all the laws, yeah? Maxims of law. You're criminals, I'm sorry. Yeah.
And you will all
what
be
you
dealt
need
with
to
as
do
such.
Is you need to have a little word with yourself now to see if you want to commit further crimes.
Policy.
Or you want to assist her, because your boss has been notified that if you're...
Who's the one that threatened you?
Not assisting this lady.
The sergeant?
You are all in big
ginger one.
The ginger bearded one?
That one
Is it the ginger bearded one?
And he said that there were men there that could grab me over that fence if they wanted, and they were also in that garden willing to do the same. Those two guys that came through I can't find now. This one here, he was in my garden. And probably the one, I don't know. Right, let me read some of this, I think. All of these orders are null and void under the laws of the Realm and the Monopolies Act 1623, Section 1. There was no signature, two-part contract, no obligation proved by claimant. Case null and void. Can someone hold this one off for me? The police officers who are a corporate entity and working and acting for the corporate entity and Chief Constable's office are therefore under the laws of the realm have no authority under the Clearfield Doctrine that any government or statutory body surrenders sovereignty and authority and sinks to the level of a standard corporation and no longer holds any authority or sovereignty. Therefore, a police officer acting as a corporate policy officer has no authority, cannot assume any authority or have any authority over the public, the people. I now, under the laws of the realm, all due process of the law, all documents must be signed properly and proper and correct identification must be provided in the event of an unlawful conduct so that remedy and redress can be pursued against the private and personal capacities. In this includes policy officers, policy constables, judges, etc. for any harm, loss, injury or damage caused without proper or correct identification. All grants, penalties, dispensations are void. It is therefore implied that the said individual is acting under a corporate or political instruction, and this is altogether contrary to the laws of the realm. Case in point, Pritchard versus Deacon 1960.
1963. Therefore, any police officer or constable is now acting in fraud and theft of property by assisting bailiffs in a civil matter is a crime in itself and oversteps their remit within the law, as the police have only any authority in criminal matters, not civil matters. Police officers are now acting for profit for the Chief Constable's corporate office in assisting bailiffs in theft and fraud. Fraud Act Section 2, as the warrant was not signed, fraud by admission by not declaring that he or she is working for a corporate capacity, Theft Act, theft of property for unjustified self-enrichment. This goes on for pages. Do you want me to read it entirely? Oh, this is entirety, yeah?
Please. Don't mind.
Debtors Act 4. Debtors Act 1869. No person shall, after the commencement of this Act, be arrested or imprisoned for making default of any payment sum of money. 1888 Bill of Rights Act clearly states that no individual person can be guilty of any crime without being convicted by a jury. Under Section 1 of the Protection from Evictions Act 1977, it is a criminal offence to deliberately and unlawfully deprive the occupier of their occupation in the property as a police officer is acting outside of his public office to deal with any matters that have not been judged by a jury of peers. Case of Janssens versus Latvia, European Court of Human Rights, Article 8. The police cannot get involved in a civil matter unless there has been a crime committed. The police cannot assist a bailiff in a civil matter, cannot even attend a civil matter, as there is no crime being committed. The police cannot intimidate the homeowner, cannot help remove the homeowner from her home, and cannot allow the bailiffs to use force, as they are committing fraud by admission. Fraud under the 2006 Act, conspiracy to commit fraud and theft, conspiracy to enforce a fraudulent document, i.e. an unsigned, unstamped warrant, which has no authority or standing. This also brings into question that the officers in attendance are actually, in fact, committing malfeasance in public office. A debtor can lawfully resist a bailiff without a valid warrant from entering their home if entry has been made against their will. Bailiffs cannot abuse this licence by entering an improper means by unusual routes. Make sure. Civil liberties for wrongful or unlawful bailiff actions resides with the creditor, paragraph 7 of Taking Control of Goods National Standards. Bailiffs acting without a warrant. A person performing certified work without certificate commits an offence. Section 63 of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcements Act 2007. A person not certified bailiff takes control of goods and commits an offence under Section 63 of the Tribunals, Courts and Enforcements Act. Without the universal maxim of law, notice agent is notice to principal, and notice to principal is notice to agent. Halsbury Law 2011, which clearly states that no administration court has any authority and therefore cannot produce or issue warrants of any kind. The police cannot enforce these warrants as they are based in fraud, as the judge has failed under the Due Process of Law and the Monopolies Act of 1623, and anything henceforth be done of the contrary shall be void in the law and holden in error, as no judge has signed a warrant identification for holding the judge liable in his personal and private capacity is then fraud by admission under the 2006 Fraud Act. Anything that stems from fraud is automatically null and void in the laws of the realm, the law from the Bill of Rights Act and Constitution. If a police officer arrests a debtor in benefit enforcement agents acting unlawfully, the officer commits an offence under Section 26(4) of the Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015. If a police officer fails to arrest an enforcement agent committing an offence, the officer commits an offence under Section 26(5) of the Criminal Justice and Courts Act 2015. There must be a very good reason for arresting a debtor on the grounds of preventing a breach of the peace. Only a serious and imminent threat justifies arrest. Faulks of Chief Constable of Merseyside Police, 1998, all ER 705. A debtor can lawfully use reasonable force in removing a bailiff that has refused to leave. The bailiff resisting in person is guilty of breach of the peace, Green versus Barton, 1830, 4 CMP 308. And if the police are present, a bailiff is the person that the police should arrest. Faulks versus Chief Constable of Merseyside Police, 1998. All common law police owe the public a duty to enforce the criminal law. 1968, C.A. Lord Denning, Commissioner of the Police of Metropolis, ex parte Blackburn, 1968, QB 118. A bailiff may not encourage a third party to allow bailiff access to a property, i.e. workmen inside of the house or a policy officer. Access by this means renders everything that now follows invalid. Nash and Lucas, 1867, 2 QB 590. If police officer in attendance and assist the bailiff to gain entry or persuades the debtor to open the door, they levy the bailiff and makes it void, and the debtor can sue for damages. Skidmore versus Booth, 1834. In conclusion, the warrant under the Fraud Act 2006, under the Monopolies Act 1623, fraud by admission, Theft Act, due process of law clearly states that an unsigned warrant or unstamped warrant is nullified and void and held in error. The Magistrates' Court has no authority, as per Halsbury law clearly states that no administrative court has any authority and therefore cannot issue a warrant for repossession. Therefore, this warrant is null and void under the laws of the realm. Any person or corporate entity or public officer trying to enforce this warrant are acting in malfeasance in public office, misadministration in public office. Any corporate entity engaging in this warrant are committing fraud by admission, conspiracy to defraud the rightful homeowner and conspiracy of theft for self-enrichment, and are personally and privately responsible for any loss, damage or injury caused. Any police officer, either policy or constable, is acting in malfeasance in public office, corruption, conspiracy to defraud, aiding and abetting in conspiracy of theft and many other criminal charges, which will be brought against any officer which engages in any illegal and unlawful actions in returning this home to the rightful resident or preventing the return of this home to the rightful resident. Full notice that any officer or bailiff refusing, attempting to prevent the Court of Justice in this rightful execution of reclaiming her home are now on full notice that a £1 million lien will be issued against each and every officer, bailiff, public official who commits any criminal behaviour and does not stand under the laws of the realm. Notice to all inspectors and officers above, any unlawful action or illegal presence at the said home will be formally reported as a criminal act against the officer of a day. The Chief Constable, who is solely responsible for his officers' decisions and liens, which are already being drawn up against the police force as a whole for their criminal behaviour, breach of public trust, breach of oath, conducting fraud by admission, as clearly evident above with the clear constitutional law which cannot be repealed. The police force now, a limited company traded in commerce and not law, and committing criminal offences on a daily basis for self-enrichment, is a clear violation of the office held by every police officer and is a crime against humanity and a crime against the Human Rights Act. The police force is one step away from being called and accused of being a terrorist organisation, working for its shareholders, its corporate entities, and no authority and no sovereignty, as clearly demonstrated by the dissolved Crown Agents Act in 1995, and being put under the Companies Act 1985. Therefore, surrendering authority and sovereignty, sinking to the standard level of any other corporation with no authority from the monarch to act as a lawful enforcement for the monarch. Instead of, you are working for a corporate entity, a corporation which is a clear violation of the public oath to serve and protect the people, not the corporations, and in doing so you are committing a multitude of criminal actions and criminal intent for self-enrichment, a further criminal act.
So they're all on notice now then?
They've all been put on notice, all judges, Essex, excuse me, really dry mouth, Essex, headquarters, police officers, judges, Basildon Court, Basildon Police, Essex Police, Grays Police, Met Police, and anyone that, you know.
So if you want £1 million
per person.
Right, so that means that you need to do what you're doing and then they've got to stop you.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, but
they've already stopped.
They're in attendance.
They've already
They're in attendance, and they accepted this. This was actually sent out before today, so by admission, they've already accepted the terms and conditions. So
that's what I'm saying.
But today, they are here as corporate entities because they are not here for the people.
But he's threatened you with assault. They threatened you with assault to get out of the garden, no?
No, they said that they were going to take me by force if I didn't leave. Yeah.
So they threatened force.
That's assault.
That is assault.
That is assault.
That is assault. So whoever said that, did you get that on film, Laura?
There was lots of films going on. Yeah, there
Do you know which one it was? Which one was it?
You need to act in their personal capacity with all that stuff that you've just said.
I've just done all that. I've took all their numbers. They've said they're under their oaths, and they're clearly not. They wouldn't be involved in a civil matter right now.
Well, you need to start another civil matter.
You should all be leaving unless you're going to assist me.
There's no breach of the peace here.
No breach of the peace here.
No criminal
lawful.
Taking place. There's no criminal offence. It's going to be.
It would appear that you ladies and gentlemen have been dismissed. So you're
you have been
welcome
dismissed.
to leave now.
You have been dismissed.
You're on private property.
You are on private property and you're all trespassing.
No, please. Feel free to leave now.
See ya. What I'm thinking is that there's going to be a back and forth. It can't be a back and forth if you're not here, can it? It can't be a back and forth if you leave, because you won't be here, so there won't be no back and forth.
That's what I mean. So what
you're here, you do realise, I'm not going to raise my voice and all that shit, right? I understand you're doing your job, and I also understand, even when you know things are wrong, you can't say nothing because you're under as much pressure just as much as we are. Hold on,
he's not one to care about that. He tried to tell me about my speech. He tried to encourage my speech.
You're probably different. I'm not judging you, I don't know you, right? But there are certain police officers, including that muppet over there, your sergeant, whoever he is, right, the one with the ginger beard, who tried to exert his authority over me twice, and it didn't happen, right? But do these not realise, none of you are special, you're public people, just like us, in uniform. Well, your force seems to think it does, because up until a week ago, the Met Police and Essex Police are both under special review for not being able to carry their job out properly. They're also asking for court immunity so that you get special rights.
So when they shoot unarmed black males, they get away from it.
It's not just that. You think it's going to stop at that? It's not going to stop at that. It's going to be on other things and then other things. Like, you're not special. You're a public person, just like the rest of us. Like,
public
and
servant.
all you're doing here, Marsden's or whatever private corporation it is, right? The fact is, it is private. It isn't government. It's private. Right? Marsden's itself has over 197 county court judgments against it. When do they send you lot round to Marsden's to collect that debt? No, they don't. Why? Because Marsden's collects the debts that the people don't want to pay the court for, like victim surcharge and bullshit fines like that, right? That no one wants to pay. And tax and council tax and all the rest of it. There's no law that says you have to pay it. All there is a Beneficiary Act in 1969 that says that if the country as a whole is in a dire need of money and revitalisation, that each member of public has to, by law, at their discretion, whether you want to or not, give at least 10% of their earnings to the country. There is no law that says you have to pay council tax, but what happens when you don't pay it? You get Marsden's on your door, you go to court, you go to prison, because no one knows or gets a lay advisor, because they don't know about it. Right? And it's the same for you lot. All you lot are doing here is collecting a debt for a private company. Our taxpayer money, your own money, because you pay taxes, pays for you lot to fight crime, protect us, right? Which is what I'm sure you all want to do, otherwise you wouldn't have swore the oath in the first place, right? And that's fine, right? But we expect you to do that, and only that, to protect and serve the public. That's it, that's all we want. We don't want you standing out here like muppets in a line protecting a building that's locked and no one can get into for a private company that don't pay you. We pay you, the public, not private companies, us. All of us here that work, yeah, including yourself, pay for your wages to do the job, to protect and serve. It's like Tesco saying that person didn't get paid sandwich, dragging back in, making pay it. One thing I want to say, we're specifically just what you said about us having him.
So you either assist me or you're dismissed.
But what are you trying to prevent?
Been dismissed.
What I would say, my only thing for that is if we're guarding a house and no one can get into, then what's your goal of trying to get into?
But it's not up to you whether we get in or not. It's not your house. We pay you. No. Hold on. I'm answering your question. I will tell you. If you leave, someone will. The homeowner will find a way. The homeowner will find a way into the house, and there is nothing that you legally can do about it. It is her house and it has been taken illegally. And the fact that you're here in the first place, standing in some stupid line for no reason, right? You're not doing anything. All you're creating is issues. That's all you're creating.
And this is, at the moment, this is going for me because I'm not in dialogue with you. So I'm not going to count for myself. Whatever information that you have leads you to believe they were illegal in their actions. We don't have. We don't.
But you don't need to worry about that though.
No, but we do
Paperwork and you chose to ignore it.
The guy's blocking the road like just.
Yeah, go and get
Go get him on film, mate. He's a journalist.
What are you chewing him for?
Van coming down, yeah.
Tell them boys, what do we say? We say off our streets with a dirty bastard. Criminal damage?
Allegedly.
Alleged?
Allegedly, yeah.
Allegedly. So there's no solid evidence that he's
You got any evidence for the criminal damage?
No.
So how can you nick him for criminal damage then?
If you've got no alleged.
How can you have a complaint if the lady who owns the house is here?
Yeah.
Who's the complainant?
Who's the victim?
Complained about it?
Obviously, we've explained what's happened. We'll go into a bit more further details.
He's asking you.
Just now, though, you need to explain yourself now.
No,
let us go, Joe, because obviously we need to search at the moment.
You need to explain yourself now, though. Everyone's calm. Everybody is calm.
No.
Everyone's very calm.
I still do my job.
Can you just give us some
Need your explanation.
Do not. Oh, yeah.
give us some
Easy,
space.
tiger. Easy, tiger. Easy, tiger.
That's fine.
What is this?
You're fine there.
Why are you assaulting me? Why are you assaulting me? You've got your hands on me. You've got your hands on me. You're assaulting me. Why are you assaulting me?
Stand back for us.
No, I cannot.
Don't touch me. There's absolutely no need for you to try and touch me.
But I haven't done something wrong. Yeah. You haven't got no evidence of what I've done.
How have you nicked him if you ain't got...
Just stand back from me.
Yeah, mind your arm.
Yeah, I am. You just stand back from me. They've got no complaining. Who's the complaining? Who's the complaining?
Sarge, you just making a point here. Can I just ask you, because if you've got no evidence
These
of
people
it,
sue, these boys sue.
If you've got no evidence of it, and the house and it's there's no complainant, Sarge, there's no complainant.
We'll deal with that after, sir.
We'll deal with it after.
Yeah, no, but and it a pointless
You're going to be getting
exercise,
sued, mate.
Isn't it a pointless exercise at this moment in time, Sarge?
You got discretion.
Hello.
What sort of discretion is being used here? If you ain't got a complaint,
is there a point being made here?
Is this politically motivated?
The reason for all of you being here today is to arrest an innocent man with no complainant.
So because you aren't aware of all the facts of the crimes that are taking place, yeah?
Unlawful arrest.
Unlawful arrest.
You'll be getting sued, boys. All of you that have just done that, you'll definitely be getting sued,
Listen,
mate.
you better take people's names
Gingerbeards
here as
off our
witnesses.
streets.
You better take people's names here for
Look at it.
witnesses.
It's not a fucking coincidence. There's something seriously wrong with them.
You're wearing the wrong t-shirt.
I'm wearing the wrong t-shirt. I told you I wanted to wear that t-shirt today.
Who complained, Sarge? Who complained? Please answer me. Don't walk away and not answer me, please.
Guys, it wouldn't be fair to discuss what's happened with him.
You're mental, mate.
No, but he's a friend of ours. He's a
Donut muncher. The fucking size of it.
Do you not see what is wrong here?
So if you could just give us a
No, don't shout at me. I don't know who you think you are. Do not shout at me. Breaching the peace. You rose your voice to me.
All I'm asking you is to keep away for a moment.
Mate.
Right, if I can ask you just keep
It's a free country.
Besides the point,
but it's a free country. It's not China yet. Why are you trying to get up in the thing?
I'm not getting up to
What's your
anything.
angle?
I'm asking you to just stay away from my colleagues whilst they're just talking about something. So that's what I'm
You
asking.
tried to shout at me, mate. You tried to shout at me.
He's in a public place, so he could be anywhere in a public place.
You sure it is? So what does that mean? What does that mean?
If you want to speak to your colleagues, go and sit in your van or your car and have a proper private conversation.
But you're following us.
No, but we promise we won't get in the booth, okay? We promise.
I gave him the slip, mate. Laura, they're going to nick you for on suspicion of criminal damage. What? They're going to come nick you on suspicion of criminal damage. I know why you shave your ginger beard off, because you don't want me giving you stick for it, mate, because you're an absolute wrong-un. Have you got any reason to believe that the woman done anything, though? Have you got any reason to believe? Oh, it's Angela! It's Angela! It's the wrong woman! Please do not touch me!
No!
Hey! Hey! Hey, leave her! Leave her! Leave her!
Right, get back!
Bully bastards! Bully bastards!
Shame on you! Shame on you!
Bully bastards!
She's a woman!
She's an old lady!
Police brutality!
What are you doing? Have you got any reason for suspicion?
This is disgusting.
What are you doing?
Give me 2 seconds. Calm down, calm down, calm down.
Mate, you need to calm down. Calm down for us.
You need to start acting unlawfully and trying to steal people when they ain't done nothing wrong. That's the thing. That's the thing.
Stop, just guys, relax.
Don't do that.
Give me your arm now. Give me your arm. Give me your arm, you're under arrest.
Guys, please.
Can I talk to her? I'm not going to talk to her. I'm not going to cause you any harm. I'm not going to cause you any harm. I'm going to talk to her. Listen, yo. Calm down. The only thing,
criminals.
yes, maybe so. Get your money out of them. Listen, if you keep resisting, they're going to fuck you up harder. Stop. Just calm it down.
Yeah, but the thing is,
I know. I know. But listen,
I can't fight them in court. I can't fight them on the streets. I'm sick to death of living in a police state. Look around you. Police cars. What the fuck? I'm just trying to help a friend. I'm trying to help a friend.
Out the way. Just come down to the end of the road for us.
Let us see.
Come on, cameras.
Take the opportunity to make
Get front camera. Go to the front.
what you want to say.
Whoa. Do your job properly.
My son's just squeezing me home.
Can you tell us why you've been arrested?
Right, clear this space.
Why have you been arrested, Angela?
I don't understand it because I'm against this police state, basically.
What's the charge? What's the charge?
80156.
Well, they're always charging me with it. The thing is, we're living in a tyranny, and I shouldn't have come here today, really, but
We'll be along to get you.
Laura is my friend.
Ask what you're being
Her
arrested
son.
for.
Madam, let's get in a vehicle.
I'm speaking. Her son knew my son.
Madam,
But I came here to support her.
let's get yourself in the car. Okay, you'll have your opportunity. You will be given the opportunity to explain your side of what's happening.
Have they told you what you're charged with? You're breaking your own oath, boys. You ain't even told her why she's being arrested.
No, and nobody told us.
What's the charge? What's the charge?
There was no caution.
Get off her head!
Did you
Get off
caution
her
her?
head!
You didn't.
Get off her head!
You didn't caution her. You didn't tell her what she was being arrested for, Sergeant. And that's
Get off her neck!
What is my charge?
Bear with me. Are you going to
Get off her neck!
Shut up!
To know what she's charged with.
I'm going to give it to free. You're going to have to go in the back of the car.
Guys,
No, you're not. No, you're not.
What's
You're going to tell her what she's being arrested
Over to the van.
No, we've got her in now, mate. She's in, yeah.
Hey! Get off her neck! Get off her neck! Get off her neck! Get off her neck! Get off her neck, you bully! Get off her neck, you bully! You bloody bastard bully!
We're going to sit down.
Carrying on like you got a ginger beard, mate.
Angela, can you get in the car, please?
Suspicion.
I don't want to
What ground?
But I will be left with no other opportunity. Right? Angela, let's get into the car now. All right? Angela, come on, just get in the car. Come on.
Need evidence for someone for nothing.
You're all working for the banks, mate. You're all fucked.
Like suspicion is what you think. It isn't evidence. To arrest someone,
He's got to see your children.
yours is all evidence, mate. Your faults ain't evidence. You're a fucking idiot. Fucking bunch of mugs, mate.
There was no unrest here until the police arrived.
Like we forced my sons
Angela, we do not want to get into this fight.
You've taken orders from above.
Why do you use the van?
You've taken orders from above.
Taking orders from the banks. You're taking orders from the banks.
We're going to go into the car now.
You work for the Mormons.
I haven't got any claims against this crime that you're committing.
Angela, stop resisting.
Or what, Hattie?
You're kidnapping her.
Or what?
She's a friend of mine.
Can you arrest this officer? I suspect he's a non.
Causing injury.
It's a suspicion.
Angela, I'm going to have to
80156.
Angela, you're going to have to go in.
As per 2000.
Causing injury.
Coming to in this
We have to
country.
show that you're on the sexual offenders list.
You got your head round her neck a minute ago, mate. I watched you.
Because people followed orders in World War II, people got killed.
And a minute, you're
Wasn't it? They had to ruin it. They had to ruin it.
But we need to get
And
you to
you're
custody.
following
That's
orders.
right.
What have I done to you?
This is what I'm saying, right?
No, I am listening to what you're saying.
We need to
You're
get you in
just
the back of the
following
car.
orders. I know what you want to do.
Right.
I don't give in to thugs. I'm sorry.
If not, Angela, we're going to put you into the van. Which one is it?
What difference is that going to make?
But I don't want to do that.
What difference does that make?
Oh, so that's a threat, is it?
Okay, that's not a threat. I've said to you.
It is a threat.
Well, let's just get you in the car. Andrew, I'm going to have to use things to get you in the car, okay? You going to help me?
I will never cooperate.
Okay.
Hey, get off our head! Get off our head!
Strong. Don't do
Get off our head!
Don't do this. Don't do this.
Don't be getting on our head like that.
Move out of the way.
Don't do this.
Mr. Corbyn, can you move out of the way? Angela, you need to get Angela, you need to stop making it so much worse than
Angela, officers, she's very strong.
I don't want to do that.
She's very strong. Why didn't you put her in the van? There's more space in the van, for God's sake.
The bottom line is you're under arrest.
Grab the van open, please. Open the van, mate.
To custody.
Van, yeah. Put her in, yeah.
Come on. You got these cuffs behind her back.
Yes, she got backstabbed for no reason.
Look, that is disgusting.
Well, she
You're
tried to
using
make
those
off.
cuffs behind her back. That is disgusting.
Angela,
They're going to take you to the van.
nothing you can do. Stop resisting.
Go back.
Okay. Angela.
No, Matt, in the back, not in there.
Make sure she sees a doctor as soon as you get to the station.
You'll be better putting her in the seats there.
Assistance.
Lewis, if you can. Matt, come this side.
Legs first. Come on, Matt.
Resist.
Angela. I don't know. Come on.
I'm not but you are also
You got stuck together.
What's the old man on the road for? Sorry.
Yeah, go on, just shut that kit out.
The back door.
What station you taking her to, Sergeant?
He says he don't know.
Carry on.
That was it.
Ryan, stand by.
Why are you always touching women, man?
Oh, they got a guy in there as well.
You're opening up the back of the police van.
We didn't open it.
No, because someone's opening the back of a police van. That's ridiculous.
Just looking inside.
Which station?
See, she was okay. They haven't decided.
Which station are you going to, officer?
Oh, Jim from Stanford, mate. Oh, more emergencies. Look, blues and twos. Oh, it's the beamer.
They knew.
Oh, look at the way he's pulling up. You see it, boys? Sorry.
Once they bought the van,
He drove like a fucking nutter to get up here. And this the traffic one's in the middle of the fucking road, mate.
Can't park there, sir.
You're gonna put some cones out, Gov? You look like you're in the middle of the road there. You don't need to put no cones out there. You sure? They're conking it, boys. They're
10 cars on double yellow lines and not one area for a fucking emergency. You're all jokes, mate, every single one of you. But you have got a duty of care, so can I please ask one of you for a plaster? One of you's got a plaster in your motor.
You've got a duty of
You've got plaster in your motor, first aid kit. Cheers, thank you.
She got it back, so they took it.
Oh, I've done it at work yesterday, I'm a barber, I've done it on my front razor. I thought I'd shut it and I went like that to my desk.
Step out the road, is that right?
Just having a conversation, just give me an emergency.
Rather than everyone stand on the road, can you move to either pavement?
No.
Yeah, no, I will move out the road when you get out the road. Let's say out the road.
Stop talking to people like that.
Please, may you move out the road.
Well, why do you need to be told?
Can I ask you a question? So you've said to me, why have we got, haven't I put cones out?
I'm talking to the one with the white hat.
The whole reason is my car's protecting us. For the
There's
same
no need to touch.
It's for the same reason that we're asking you to step out of the road.
Well, your car's in the middle of the road, though, and you ain't put no cones there. So using your logic, you need to move your car out the road, didn't you?
Can I respond? Can I respond to that? Okay. So, right, we're on a 30-mile-an-hour road. I don't have to put any cones out for that. That's part of our policies, fast roads. But my vehicle's positioned like that because you're all stood in that sort of centre of the junction. That's why my car's positioned out. So
we're on a separate road. That's a separate road, Governor. Look, I'm going to film it now just to prove a point. That's a separate road. Like, because he just tried to chat the most shit, boys. Right? Yeah. Let me show you, because look, he's out on this road out here, and we're down this road here, right? And his cunt is parked over here, like this, in the middle of the road. Yeah. Right there, next to the central line. Yeah? And he's telling... Sorry, my love, I beg your pardon. And swats. Not in the road though, are we?
Officer, can you tell us where it is going to?
I'm trying to find out who authorised the arrest, because...
I want to know where she's been taken.
Yeah, I imagine Grays is what I'm saying.
Grays? Where's that?
I imagine Grays is down the road, about 10 minutes down the road.
He's just saying there's no actual, whoever he's talking to, he said there's no actual video of her jumping onto, onto the roof.
Yeah, right. So there's no real evidence, boys. You heard it here first.
Suspicion of...
Live on the telly.
Officer, is it Grays police station?
And you've got Shane over there, ex-councillor, and he's not interested, so I don't know if you want to check.
He's not, what do you mean ex-councillor? You spoke to him, did you?
Yeah.
What's he all about?
He don't give a crap.
He don't give a crap?
Well,
so why am I going to talk to him?
Not entirely true. You see, there's loads of councillors and ex-councillors. He's the only one who's turned up.
Right.
And he says he's here to make sure that
he's just being a grassy bastard.
Laura doesn't get injured.
Yeah. Have they told you what police station?
He won't talk to me.
No, they won't talk. No.
Where's my old bit of kit gone?
It's over there, Shane.
Oh, right, jolly good. It's all calm right down now, boys. I'm going to put the thing back on the thing.
A few hours.
They're not met.
They're not met there, is it?
No, they won't shoot randomly. Unarmed.
Sorry, Shane.
It's all right. They won't shoot the dog, you're all right. Like the
well,
mate.
Yeah.
Dog, I'll be shooting them.
Yeah, like the mate. It's only the mate that shoot dog.
Sounded like a threat earlier on. You was trying to pick me up on my language and my use of linguistics.
He's just retarded, don't worry about it.
No, don't say that.
Is he allowed to call me a retard or is that a hate crime?
What's your definition of it? How do
What's
you feel
my
about
definition? I think it's more important. I think it's more important how the CPS define it, realistically, because I think it's more important how the CPS define it.
Whoa.
Fucking hell. You all right, lads?
I've already stopped the tripod falling over.
Right.
No, my worry there
Right.
was that you might say something wrong.
Might say something wrong. So it's wrong
said-
think. You're trying to police my thinking, and so who's arbiter of what's
just
right and
trying
what's
to
wrong?
warn, that's all.
Yeah, but who's the arbiter of what's right and what's wrong speech and thought?
That's difficult to say, isn't it? Because
Not really. Not really. Who's the persecutor? Who's the one that holds people in prosecution if they deem something to be contravening what they deem to be politically correct?
It depends in which ground you're talking about, because in some aspects, like in some sense, you could turn around and say, like the criminal justice system. In other sense, you could say that everyone, as an individual, has the ability and the right to be able to say what is right and what is wrong and what I should say and what I shouldn't say.
So you're saying what's
I'm not
right
gonna
and
sit
wrong.
here and
You're
go,
literally just saying
this is the definitive
on
answer.
camera. You're literally saying what is right and wrong is objective. You're saying there's no, you're saying subjective. You're saying there's no objective truth. Is what you're saying by that?
To a degree.
That's
I would
mental.
agree with that, to a degree.
Do you know that's completely insane and irrational, didn't you?
Why would you say that's insane and irrational?
So you're trying to say that there's no such thing as an objective truth. Truth is subjective. So, for instance, when we're talking about weights and measurements, 10 centimetres or so 2.5 centimetres is an inch. Yeah.
I'm talking.
They're truths. They're things that are real. Definable.
Okay. When you're talking about facts and you're making a statement in that way, yes, but
so what's the but?
People can still have thoughts and feelings, and people can still
thoughts and feelings
make a decision for themselves, can't they? If they feel that if they're saying something is right or if they're saying something is wrong. But for me, this is the way I'll put it. For me, in that situation, when you were saying what you were saying, I wasn't sitting there going, "Oh my God!" I was sitting there thinking, "Oh, like if he's not careful, he might end up just kind of."
And then you might have to act on that.
So
that's what you was worried about.
No, I wasn't worried on acting on it. What I was worried about is just you doing it, because everything, like what you guys are doing is you're all filming, aren't you?
Right.
Right. And I understand the cause that you're trying to film for. I understand that you're supporting this woman. I understand that you guys believe wholeheartedly that what has been done is wrong. Now, if I just hear what you guys tell me, then to a degree there'd be a part of you that says, well, of course I've got to agree that it is what's wrong.
So let me help you understand further.
Wait a minute.
Please.
Can I have the opportunity just to finish everything?
Go on then. Sounds like an essay. Go on, please.
So, like, to some degree, you could say, oh, yeah, of course they're right, but I don't know all of the information.
I can explain it to you.
So it's very difficult.
Real simple.
And in the same sense, so in the same sense, but all I'm doing here is just standing there to try and prevent things from kicking off.
In what capacity?
I don't know. So
this is the thing.
Well, what I'm being told is that effectively, in some way, shape or form, that someone was going to gain access to that property.
What's the matter with that? What's the matter with that?
So if I sit on your side of the camp, right, and I'm not saying you guys are right. I'm not saying that you guys.
Do you work for
wrong,
Minority Report? Are you Future Police? Are you
No.
So what's your angle then? What's your angle? That's what you're talking about.
At the moment, I'm having dialogue with this lady.
But you started with me. This is how it's happened, and now you try. No. What are you on about? No. I'm going to explain it to you. In what capacity, Sergeant, police officer?
Just PC.
What's your name?
Perez.
Yeah. Mr. Perez. In what capacity are you here today, sir?
As a police officer.
As a police officer, not a police constable.
Well, police constable, of course.
Did you take an oath? Did you take an oath for affirmation to become a police constable?
Yes.
I'm not going to ask you to recite it. I'm going to show you a bit of grace, but do you vaguely remember what it was about?
To a degree, yes. I wouldn't be able to tell you what it is like verbatim, because
all right, not verbatim, not word for word, but can you tell me the general essence or gist of it?
Yeah, sincerely attest and affirm, and this is 14 years ago.
I do solemnly and sincerely declare and affirm that I will well and truly serve the King in the office of constable with fairness, integrity, diligence, and
diligence.
With
important.
Fairness.
Fairness and integrity and honesty.
Integrity.
Oh, yes.
That's your right, sir.
what did I say? Diligence and impartiality.
Right. So
upholding fundamental human rights and according equal respect to all people. And that I will. And that I will. I've forgotten the next bit.
Right, well, you remember more than he did.
Cause the peace to be kept.
Yes. So you're here as a police constable to prevent a breach of the peace. That's what capacity you're supposed to be here in, right? So when you're preventing a lady from going onto her property, what are you doing? You're causing obstruction and preventing freedom of movement.
Based on what you guys are telling me from your side of the stories, that's how it would be. That's how it would seem.
No, but you're not here. But you're a police constable. No, that's the thing. The thing you have to adhere to is being a police constable and being impartial and showing due diligence. So for you to say I don't know, I can't get on that side because I don't know, you're not performing due diligence. That's the thing. If someone tells you, because you're not considering to take on the information. You're not willing to take on the information.
In respect that you're saying about being impartial, how can I categorically say that I'm also being impartial to them or to yourselves if I don't know either? I don't know either way.
Because you're enforcing what they want, and not what
you're enforcing what the banks are saying.
You're enforcing their policy, and I mean, nobody's attempted to gain access to speak to them.
No, we were just stood outside.
I mean, you've confirmed they're SIA registered, but they might be squatting in there. They might have thought, oh, do you know what? There's an empty house in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they might be squatting, but you haven't bothered to find out. So there's no due diligence, there's no impartiality, there's no upholding fundamental human rights, as the oath says, and protecting people and property.
I hear what I mean. There's no bank firm paying people to go and stay in a house that they've just.
I know you're in a difficult position. I get that.
What I did when I got here was to try and have a conversation with whoever is back there. I was trying to ascertain what it is that's going on. I couldn't hear. We're not going to go over the things, but you made your point. No, you made your point, and like I said,
you're sidetracking from the real issue.
I'm not saying that it's not.
You're sidetracking.
I'm not sidetracking. I'm trying to explain.
Because we're explaining to you that if you look into it, if you showed your due diligence, if you used due diligence, you'd accept what we're saying on face value and then look into it. That's the point. But you're.
I hear I understand that that's how it would feel.
No.
Boys, you see this, boys? Look at this one.
One of our people have literally been abused.
Look, fat man with beard has just lollied him for talking.
Got his hold off now,
Good. Fuck him. Sorry about that, boys and girls.
This young lady looks like she needs an interview.
Looks like she needs to be in college. What? She looks like she's one of Scarlett's. Yeah. I know.
You don't look much older than this.
No, that's what I'm saying. When all the gather's gone, boys, I'll show you my new t-shirt that we got for sale in the link, pinned link, sales, t-shirts for sale. But these are far too minstrel, so I'm not gonna fucking. Should do really. Hey! Huh? What's the time anyway? Right, we've got to go soon.
See you on the streets, what do you think of comments?
So they reckon that they've nicked Angela and the other fella because of footage that they've seen round the back. What
footage?
That doesn't show. Someone's live streaming apparently.
I know. Why have they got now? Right. What? Who the copper knows what they're talking about? I've just come to walk.
You just get the section. What section was it? Section 20.
Only if we're being unreasonable and unpeaceful.
Yeah.
There's no breach of the peace been happening. The only breach of the peace was them trying to unlawfully arrest someone for no reason.
Right.
Assaulted someone. They can't make it.
Kidnap, assault, false imprisonment. There's a few charges.
I've been peaceful, mate, so I'm not moving. I've done nothing wrong.
No, me neither.
Where's Trixie gone?
She's in the car. I don't like the look dog animals get into this here.
I know it looks mental. I've got to sort of, someone's been fucking about with the camera.
There's been no breach of the peace. Everyone did it peaceably.
To leave and never refused to do so after reasonable attempts, they can be arrested. Did you hear that as well? No. So the inspector authorised a dispersal order for this area, so that's under antisocial behaviour order 2003. So essentially that gives...
For what purpose, Sarge?
Pardon?
For what reason?
To prevent any further breach of the peace and
there
antisocial
was no
behaviour.
breach of the peace initially.
Well, there
anyway.
was, yeah.
There wasn't. There wasn't. The only breach of the peace was when you guys went to arrest someone unlawfully.
Yeah, you go.
Bye!
Now they're actually going to do
Some real work. So, Sergeant, with respect, I've been respectful to all of you.
Has authorised that.
Can I speak to respect to them, please? Because there's no reason for them to authorise that. There's been no one breaking any law, committing any crimes, being unreasonable, non-peaceful.
Lovely. I'm just briefing officers quickly. Give me a few tips.
You can do what you want, mate. Brief all your officers as you want, mate. Yeah. You'll say for the mic so everyone can hear? Yeah. No.
Okay.
Welcome to Political Not Correct.
Inspector, so Inspector Fisher.
Right, where's the inspector? I want to see the inspector.
He doesn't need to come down. Well, he's authorised and endorsed the incident, but a dispersal order has been put in place. Essentially, that means that there's 2 or more people congregated together, but we suspect might cause or have caused antisocial behaviour.
Hang on. You need reasonable cause of what? It's to suspect what's going to happen?
That you've been breaching reasonable cause to suspect that you might have done or about to cause breach of peace or any antisocial behaviour.
No one's been breaching peace.
So essentially, we're going to give you 5 minutes because you've had enough time anyway. 5 minutes, and then we shall start enforcing the dispersal order. Do you understand?
No, I don't understand.
Well, you don't have to understand. I've told you already.
The dispersal order is.
You do actually have to understand.
No, we don't understand.
No, you don't have to understand.
You don't have to understand.
Officer, please, can you show me the dispersal order?
I don't get that. Oh, I
They've
guess they feel...
They've done this to us in Bradford, then when we didn't move, we got ASBOs.
They get me taken down.
What's an ASBO?
What was that, Jim? They're going to arrest us for not going.
That's what they threatened us with. They reckon if they suspect we're going to breach the peace, then they've got the right to tell us to go away.
What's breaching the peace? Standing on the pavement?
I don't know what they mean by breach of the peace, but they could mean anything, I suppose.
Whatever they decide it is.
Well, yeah, I suppose it is.
Inspector coming, Sergeant coming.
Yeah, Sergeant is down.
Who is the inspector of today?
Inspector of your
No, I wouldn't tell the name. The inspector of today will be just a collar number. I'm just explaining. And also, who's the sergeant that's here? Who's in charge?
My sergeant is just behind the line at the moment. I'll get him to come and challenge me.
What do you mean behind the line? What does that mean?
See that
In my
line of
property?
officers. In the line of officers.
Oh, in that line
Behind
right at the
that line
back.
of
Oh, I see him. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's that? Who's that? Can he come and identify himself as the sergeant and he's the one in charge here currently? Because the inspector has already been served, as I say. And I'd like to know who the sergeant of the day is.
Basically, he has to be protected by something.
Where are they actually down? Because they had a traffic unit, a dog unit. They've got quite a few.
Dog unit.
Was it Basketfields?
Basketfield, yeah. Who's the inspector?
So it's Terry Inspector Fisher, 3663.
Yeah, cool. The details for the duty inspector is authorised and dispersal order if you want to take them.
Fisher 3663.
Yeah.
Fisher, you've got the info.
3663.
Mr. Fisher 3663.
Oh, I've emailed him also.
Oh, there you go, blinder.
He was already. Hold on.
He owes you £1 million.
He owes me £1 million. So it's all, you can laugh, but we've got an international equity bank covering all liens up to 380 million. So you can laugh all you like, policy officer.
Okay.
Who was here for profit.
You've got a details
right, sorry, hold on a minute. I'm just confirming. Which one did you say it was?
3663.
No, the man's name.
Fisher.
Fisher.
Mr. Fisher.
Fisher. Yeah, he got it. He did. So he's been noticed.
And so he's aware of the job. He's endorsed a log for a.
Louise Burrows, Anthony Aitken. They've all been served. Who else has been served? BJ Harrington, which obviously you know is your Chief Constable.
I'm aware of him.
You might be aware of him. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. For-profit corporation, you're just making lots of money for him, as per my previous.
We will agree to disagree.
Basildon Craig. No, it's by admission. I've sent it to them. They can't disagree now. And I gave everyone.
Can you stand out the road?
I gave everyone due process to reply. I can't get
For my health and safety.
Shame you don't feel that way about your missus.
If you're not safe, what have you got?
Last time they arrested me as well. This time,
yeah, because you clumped her over the head.
Sorry, just for record.
Sorry.
What was that? Fisher, who?
3663, I believe.
3663, yeah.
3663.
Yes, correct.
Fisher, and he's
Mr.
the
Fisher. He's
sergeant.
No, he's
Inspector.
Fisher Price.
Inspector.
On the day.
And he's the one that's endorsed it and authorised the disbursement.
So he's authorised 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 trespassers, 10, and obviously the ones from the garden that have slipped off. All of these, we're paying for all of this, but there is no.
As I said, my sergeant's made everyone aware. Dispersal already got 5 minutes to leave the area.
We gave that.
Yeah, but you got to suspect a breach of the peace is going to occur.
Yeah, I do.
What? Under what grounds?
Bear in mind, I've seen a number of people inside the garden with hammers and all sorts.
Right. Yeah. Who? People that have been peacefully filming outside. We have a problem.
Can I say something?
Please do.
Yeah. Well, people have seen what happened here.
Let me get you in focus.
Yes.
Don't come and talk to people. You have no authority. You don't have to listen to you. You're all dismissed.
Blinder. Yeah, let me start this again.
Okay. Right, well, as people know, we're here to help the repossession of Laura's house. The police have come along and they're clearly acting for the landlord side and have now surrounded the house, and they've just arrested a number of people. They arrested Angela and they've arrested Steve for supposed suspicion of criminal damage, which really makes no sense because the house is owned by the bank or by Laura, so who knows. Anyway, a number of us are going to go to the police station to try and get these people out. And meanwhile, I think we should thank everybody for showing support, and I'm sure this will go on, and we want to give every support there is for Laura to get her rights back.
Right, and there are people doing this sort of stuff, so if you know anyone in this sort of situation where they're in a mortgage...
There's Laura, look out for news.
Do you want to say something in summary, Laura?
Obviously it's disappointing that, as much as they've been served and made aware of all the laws and the crimes that have been committed, they're still continuing with this fraud, and obviously...
Are you a police officer?
No, I'm just passing on the message.
Oh, you impersonating me. No, he looks like one.
What's that about?
He's dressed in...
That bright pink shirt throws me right off every time I look at him.
So, so I'd like to thank everybody who's shown, obviously, love and support and obviously all of this today. As we've seen, they've arrested people for, there were no crimes committed. I'm the homeowner and I dismiss them. There is no crimes being committed there other than by these policy officers that are here for profit and for profit only. They're not here to help breach the peace, because if they were here to help breach the peace, I wouldn't have been manhandled and dragged out.
Prevent the breach of the peace, yeah. Right.
Yeah, prevent the breach of the peace, sorry, because, no signed warrant. It was an unlawful, null and void eviction. So, more crimes that will be noted. And yeah, we'll go from there. I'll be back in touch with my lawyer and my team to take next steps. And as we've mentioned, there are terrorism claims now, malfeasance in office. There was no due process, and this is high treason. And they are all going to be served accordingly.
Blinder, thank you very much, Laura.
One love.
Sweet.
There's no anti-social behaviour here, is there? Everyone's been peaceful.
Do that jacket.
Right, I'm going to film this, right? So when you attack us over there, I'm going to be filming it, alright? Because this needs to go out on social media.
No, it's more the
Did you see it? Could you see it?
Has he come back?
You couldn't see it when I was stood there. That's because I want that to be the thumbnail.
Right, go back.
Permission to stand in the garden, private property, mate.
Have we got permission to stand in the garden? Yeah. Oh, blinder! Here.
know exactly where they can't come into afterwards.
He's on private property now. You
Get him in the merch store. If you're brave.
I'm going to go and find out what.
Well, that's brilliant.
It is, isn't it?
I had to get me old.
Someone's got to step off to get the car.
You're trespassing!
Go to the toilet, Len. You don't have to answer the door to his darling.
No, on video, please.
Don't touch me. Do not touch me.
I've been invited.
Yeah, go on then, go
I've been
inside.
invited. You haven't. He
What
asked
do you mean
you
go
to
on and go
leave.
inside? Who do you think you're clever? Who do you think you're clever?
He asked you to leave and we were invited. Darling, go in, shut the door. Go in and shut the door. No, that's Angela's. That's Angela's charge up here.
Sergeant.
That's Angela's charge.
Sergeant, make way private property, please. You've got no warrant to be here. We've been invited. Otherwise, we'll remove you. We will remove you. Sergeant, you are dismissed. You have to move off private property immediately.
What do you think he's for if he ain't to remove
Can I have
you?
the constable under oath, please?
No, they're under oath.
No, they're not under oath.
You need to remove yourself from private property.
He thinks he's proper smart.
What do you need to pick up?
It's her
Charger. We don't know where a bike is.
Oh, it's round the corner.
She got arrested, didn't she? Unlawfully.
They want you to grab him, but I'll grab him lawfully. I don't care. He's trespassing. I've asked him to leave.
We was told by the Conservative government to arrest thieves and trespassers. Not yesterday at the conference.
Hands up.
Yeah.
Or move.
You were
Hands up, big lads.
That's what you got to do.
Don't touch me, you'll be coming back.
Oh, will I now? Is that a threat, is it?
Yeah.
You're making threats to me now.
Right.
You are here unlawfully and illegally. You have no warrant. You've been
You
asked to
don't
leave.
get to dictate nothing now, mate. You don't get to dictate.
You need to come off this here and start making your way away.
Well,
We're on
the
private
owner said
property.
private property.
Mr. Corbyn, realistically, they're not.
Oh, the gun smells good.
What he said is that he said they don't want you to. He said don't want to get involved.
You want to argue semantics?
Okay.
You want to argue
That's what he said.
semantics? You're clever, are you?
Stand over there. He's got the property.
Get off the property because you're trespassing.
Get your sergeant as well. Take your sergeant.
Yeah, you need to take your mate.
Do the right thing.
You need to take your mate.
You really do need to go. You really do.
You're breaching the peace.
You're gonna start
You're
with
breaching the
situation.
peace. You're here trying to antagonise a reaction. Uninvited.
Without a
You
warrant.
breach a policer.
Yeah, can I have police, please?
See? Look, now he's calling the police on you.
You're trespassing, mate. You think it's a joke? Silly boy.
Yeah, hello, Essex Police Emergency. I've got
This is a whole
someone
world
dressed
right.
Go
up
on,
in
see you
a-
later. Ta-da. Ta-da. See you later. See you later. See you later. You mug. Slower than that, Sam. Slower than that. Slower than that. What are you doing?
And you've got two more officers on site. They have no warrant.
You've been claimed for search under section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act. The reason being, the smell I just smelt from you.
That's not good enough reason to search someone.
The reason I'm stopping is because it's been cannabis. Yeah, my colleague will do that in a minute. I'll explain all the circumstances.
Right.
I don't
You're on private
care. It's
property, Sergeant.
pathetic. It's a plan at the end of the day.
She's on private property. She's on private property.
I'm trying to explain to her.
It doesn't matter. Go away. Go away. You're on private property. Go away. Go away. You're not wanted here. You're not wanted here. Go away. Go away. You're not wanted here. Go away. 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 She doesn't consent to a search on private property. Go away. She doesn't consent to a search. She's on private property. She doesn't consent. You're in breach of your oath.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you. No, guys, she's fine to search me.
She's fine. You consent?
But the rest,
you consent?
To a search, yeah, but the rest need to get off the property.
No, no.
Searching me needs to get off the property.
Yeah, see, that's the terms and conditions of acceptance. Terms and conditions of acceptance. Still trying to get him nicked. She don't feel safe. Back off. We're filming for her protection. Her safety.
Jack, if you feel like people are obstructing you, just let us know, mate, and we'll remove people for obstruction.
What, on private land? We'll remove you from private land, mate. What do you think? What do you think this is? Who do you think you are?
Yeah, I'm just protecting you.
How scruffy do you look with that beard? Do you think you look presentable as a police constable to be wearing that beard? Do you think it's acceptable?
You're on.
No, don't puff. Don't puff. Don't be puffing. Is that a respectable condition to leave the house in?
I can look how I want to look.
Can ya? Can ya? There was a time, mate, when you couldn't, mate, and that's the reason why this country's gone down the pan. Because of attitudes like that. Car, you see it there, boys? Car, shiny that was. Sweating, man.
Munch back.
Munch back. Munch back.
Yeah. Take off charge.
Yeah, okay, go off the line now. We'll just deal with the police and we'll cover them ourselves. It's not a problem.
They refusing to help.
They're refusing to help.
Didn't think much else, to be honest.
Much big old head.
She's not being arrested. What are you searching her for then? What are you searching her for then?
You're private property. You do not realise that, yeah?
You got no grounds to search someone on private property.
We're here under the Misuse of Drugs Act.
No, you're not. No, you're not. You're here to prevent the breach of the peace, Dinlow. What are you talking about? You're not here for the Misuse of Drugs Act at all, Dinlow. Are ya?
There's no need to get personal.
Get personal? What? You got some sort of trauma over that sort of language being used at yourself? You sure? Are you sure? You are? You come out with that beard. That beard offends me. No offence. Right?
This is better than mine. What are you talking about?
It don't. It looks stupid, mate. It looks stupid and scruffy. And he should not be representing no crown wearing that on his face.
Under Section 23 of the Misuse of Drugs Act.
And you shouldn't be in my job. You're going to sit here and start slagging people off. Is that comment? I'm just saying behind the back. You both need to grow up. Sinning, sniggering, slagging.
Yeah, well, what happens when you're 26 and you're more worried about getting lashed up on the weekend and that with all your cronies and that after you've been running around like Batman and Superman in a weekday?
26 is kind for this one.
Sorry.
It's been dealt with. Fair enough.
He's just gone to get the car. He's just gone to get the car.
Yeah.
They're going to chore her.
You heard me read that, Relaine?
Yeah.
Were they not? But no, they've been sent by the chief of the sector.
Okay, I'm fine. I'm fine with you.
I would have just told him to go fuck, mate, and say you're not allowed to search me. I don't consent to a search on private property.
I'm not sorry.
I would have smoked it in front of him. What's the time?
It's just that he's searching at the moment. He needs to do his job.
Oh, shut up, Beardy. No one cares what you say. You silly hat and silly beard.
Just taking everything in, it's quite a lot to handle.
That's what I'm saying, a bit young for the old job, isn't they?
You're a child.
Respectfully now, can you make your way away now? It's perfectly fine.
Yeah, sorry, I've got a lot of sweets.
Alright, there you go.
Thank you.
What I do is never be
filmed and they're not planting anything.
Just chuck it in the bin and like just leave it.
We'll be chucked away.
It's a bit of weed, lad. It's a bit of weed.
You've got discretion whether you want to arrest someone, haven't you, officer? You've got discretion at the end of the day whether you want to arrest someone for a possession of a half a joint.
Is she under arrest?
My level.
No. But what have you just said? 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 If she's been nicked with weed before, then she doesn't get no discretion, is what you just said. It's what you inadvertently said. That's what you alluded to, sir. That's the issue.
Private property, girls. 82071. What's your name?
I've got a minute. Might bin it, because I've got so many temptations.
82363. Go on, let's go.
I know, that's why I said you've got to move it, because I keep... Sit back there.
T-shirts for sale, t-shirts for sale. Get your t-shirts.
Tell me how much can
Okay. Tell you what, are you going to
find your details? You can be liable to be arrested for it.
Really?
I'm going to get my son in a minute. I'm going to get my son from school in a minute.
Sorry, I can't hear
I'm going to get my son from school in a minute. I won't get arrested.
That's fine. Give me 2 minutes. I'm going to chat to my sergeant. We'll go from there. What? You like told on
Check with the sergeant. Have you been nicked for weed before? Oh, you get a street caution.
Well, that's what he said, but...
Yeah, no, that's the 100% what should happen. That's 100% what should happen.
Thank you very much, gents. I'll try and pop it down,
You won't
please.
stay there for a sec? Well, you've got to stay here and keep this together.
That beard is.
Are you going to go at my beard again?
No, ginger beard. I mean, grey beards ain't too bad. Me.
Just
He's Scotsman, he can't blame him. Right, there's nothing, there's no cannabis
I'm
in there.
satisfied that you smoked it. Well done.
Yeah, I know, there's nothing in there. That's what I said.
I'm going to bin this off.
Yeah.
There's nothing in
No
there.
further action. How much of a thrill did you get while you was detaining her, though?
As if you didn't enjoy it. Look
That's
at
what I mean.
It's the best come-off we've had in a while. We all know it. You don't get close to girls like that on the regular without your little fake badge.
Private property off-site, guys, please. Now,
Thank you.
See you later.
Thank you. You've been listening. Well, that's literally what we're doing now, right? Showing them up for exactly how petty.
Why? I'll do it then.
Block the road now. They're blocking the road.
I feel to fucking do Alan's thing now. Just fucking see if I get a thing for it. Have a little dance in it and that. Try and get the old fucking Asian sergeant to have a fucking pop about it.
I feel like we're being blocked in.
We are being blocked in. Look, they're all bald, boys. First of all, they all had ginger beards, and then they were all bald.
It's blocking the road now.
Yeah. So who's going to get nicked? What's you on about, you weirdo? We do have to leave relatively soon, though. Yeah, I know, it looks like it, doesn't it?
You might as well work for McDonald's. That's how much authority you've got, and McDonald's is currently blocking my road off. But costing the taxpayer. Taxpayers paying for this while your old nan's being beaten up in Grays Town Centre right now, being mugged. You know, knife crime.
Through the roof.
Drugs. Loads of things they could be preventing that we pay for.
In the locality, you can find if it's a public space.
If we commit an offence, we haven't committed, we're not due to commit an offence. You may say private property is included in it now, apparently. Private property in the dispersal order, private property is included. Look, we've grown his house, eh? Constable! Constable!
I don't want to know anything.
Get the door slammed in your face.
Yeah, no, we're trying to remove them in recently, right? Come in and send. That's perfect.
So you don't know what, so you can't we're here peacefully. You know this.
Yeah, so
you know this. Listen,
now in place. We'll go back home.
That's all. No,
that's all right. We're at Garden Plaza. That's all right.
It doesn't.
It doesn't. What if we live there?
We're at Garden Plaza.
I don't want it to be moved.
Come here.
I'm quite happy with it.
She's quite happy. She's quite happy is what she said.
So you'll come in.
No. The homeowner has given us permission to be on her private property.
She's given us permission, and she's asked you to not remove us. There you go.
2 lines, boys. We've got 2 lines of the filth.
And the police to stop us coming off the private property. And another line of police.
Can't get in and out of the street, boys. It's mental, innit?
Literally, this is research. Well, yeah. So it shows.
You got ADHD?
No, why?
All your work.
It's because we work hard, Jim.
Yeah.
We know what we're talking about. That's what we're saying.
You feel kettled, Davey?
I've been kettled a few times, Mick, and I certainly do feel it now. Fuck.
I get confused with all these terms.
What? Huh? I don't ask the fucking fuckers to move. They're not allowed to just block your freedom of movement.
No, don't worry, no one can see you. I appreciate all help. But this is just all proof that's in my home that I can't get through. Thank you.
Your quote,
Love you.
because our birth certificates are not actually ours. I was quoted that's how much a share with this company, so it's an international shipping company, and obviously common stock providing come from a wealthy family. So this is a micro cap, so this is literally be on the stock exchange every day through my birth certificate. It's got nothing to do with me.
Absolutely. So this is in how we're making money out of us and our.
So I'm still So that's the Sister KV Act.
So this is obviously.
That means we're dead.
We're legally declared dead.
Legally declared dead.
That's how they've been.
We got 7 years from birth to reclaim our right of title.
Literally, do you want me to read the whole thing?
Yeah. Do you mind going on film?
Yeah, I do kind of.
Alright.
Oh, they've killed my battery, guys.
No, they've killed it.
You do it for Jim.
Okay, yeah, so statement of truth is given soul of spirit. Everything written is truth. In fact, this is what I should be reading to them, to be fair. So any living man, woman with any evidence, which they obviously can't provide, they haven't been able to provide Laura with, to the contrary, please provide me with a living witness with any evidence within 28 days from the date hereforth. First, let me inform or remind you that there is not one single document in existence that says any of the so-called autoproclaimed authorities have bought any land, enabling them to be able to charge us to live on it. Not one single document, therefore their authority has been, is and will forever be dissolved. There will never be any need to pay for what is our inheritance, because we were born here, the land is free, we shouldn't have to pay. So in London in 1666, during the Black Plague and Great Fires of London, the Crown and Parliament implemented an act behind closed doors called the Cester KV Act of 1666. The act's being debated was to subrogate the rights of men and women, meaning that during all the chaos, all men and women were legally declared as dead, lost at sea, beyond the sea, maritime terminology for the Roman Papal jurisdiction, Holy See. The state, London, then entrusted everybody's land, property unto themselves, the state then becoming the trustee, husband, holding all the titles to the people and the property until the living man or woman comes back to reclaim those titles. To explain the fraud that has been placed upon humanity, let's start from the day of your birth. You were birthed in a state hospital, a foundling hospital. A foundling hospital was originally an institution for the reception of foundlings, for the public to find and save. A foundling hospital was not necessarily a medical hospital, but more commonly a children's home, offering shelter and education to foundlings.
Orphanage.
Yeah, pretty much. Where your mother, the informant, someone who gives information or something up to another, agreed to willingly but abandon you and give you over to the state. The hospital then created several versions of you through your birth certificate. At the hospital, a certificate of live birth was made for you, a manifestation, where they weighed you, checked the colour of your eyes, etc., and recorded it. The Vatican then calculated your weight in gold, hence the phrase worth your weight in gold. Each birth after 1933, since the bankruptcy of the government state where we transitioned from the gold standard to the modern day fiat legal tender currency system, a type of currency system that does not discharge a debt but only tenders it to a later date, thus being backed solely by the sweat equity of living men and women, and not gold and silver, nothing of commodity value. Being monetised, bonded at £630,000, that was in 1933. My lips getting dry. Yeah, no, I've never.
You're doing really good, please.
Right. Okay, so being backed solely by the sweat equity of living men and women and not gold and silver, nothing I've read that bit. So each birth has since then been monetised, bonded up until I should probably. Where's this going for anyway?
It's going on YouTube now. It's live on YouTube now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
From 630 grand.
Yeah, so 630 grand. So your bond, you were originally bonded at that much, and then insured at 1 million. And then after 1975, where each birth has since then been bonded at 1 million and insured at 2 million, that then becoming your worth, to which you and your certificate of live birth, which you became the surety to create the credit for, the surety for it, the human resource that secures it, was monetised, bonded and valued at.
Where are you getting these figures from?
So this is the SSKV. There's someone called David Strait.
Right.
So, because obviously the CQV.
Yeah.
So with the we don't know how much is in there because it's gone up since. But obviously they've had to, because we're backed by the, I don't know how to explain it. So, let me just read what I've got.
Go on, sorry.
So how do you think this is paid for? Like, how do you, because it's called a repayment for a reason. Do you know it's not a criminal offence to not pay a bill or a debt?
Yeah, I get that. All bills are paid for when it's because a bill is paid for. It's like what are they called? They're called promissory notes.
Promissory notes, because if you read on the top it will say, "I promise to pay the bearer on demand
Yes.
to some of such." You're right. How you doing? I recognise your face. I've seen you on. Yeah. So, but that's pretty much because. Yeah. So. Well, I forgot what I was saying.
So who's the Strait? Who did you say his name was?
David Strait. He used to be in the. He was at ex-armed forces.
Was it YouTube or what?
He's on YouTube. Shouldn't really.
You off, yeah?
Yeah, we'll see you later.
Cheerio. It was nice to see you. Well done. Outstanding work, Sam.
Thank you.
Yeah. Take care of yourself.
Obviously, they're 1.5 billion. That's. I don't know where they get that information from, but that's pretty much what I
thought it was something to do like 70 acres or something. I thought we was all entitled to a plot of land.
Yeah,
and they robbed
apparently
it.
there's like a.
You're gonna read something out?
You're gonna read something. Go read something. Right,
hang on, Laura. Hang on. Right. Do you just want to put that on yourself if you're going to just talk for a minute?
Go for it.
Right. Ready when you are, mate.
Okay, so we've been told that even though we're on private property, which I've been invited to, that there is going to be like a mile dispersal for a mile in this area. So I just want to read this out now about my human rights. So Article 11 of the European Conventions of Human Rights provides freedom for all assembly. This means that every individual, regardless of the cause, has the right to protest, march or demonstrate in a public space. Not only does every individual have the right, but the police have a duty to retain from restricting this right unnecessarily, and they must take measures to protect peaceful protests. Even if they do not agree, or if there is some disturbance or offence caused to the general public, the police must demonstrate a certain degree of tolerance towards the protesters. An individual also has the right under the ECHR to freedom of expression. This includes the right to hold your own opinion as well as to receive and impart information without interference from public authorities. Whilst these rights are not absolute, they can be limited if necessary and proportionate for the authorities to do so. These rights only apply to public spaces. Therefore, anyone protesting on private property without permission of the occupier are likely to be viewed as a trespasser. And as per the homeowner and my friend and neighbour of 20 years, myself and my friends are invited and they were asked to leave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, yeah, I guess that nice one, Laura. It's time.
think what they're going to do is take the ring.
If I was to read that again, actually I know it's live, but honestly it makes a lot of sense when I'm not under pressure. 'Cause you know the IMF where they put it in?
Yeah.
So the IMF invested. So do you want me to read it again?
No, not from the start, not from the start, just from your new bit.
Okay. So I don't know, I honestly don't know how much was in there, but that's what I've been informed as. But it goes up every so and so because of the inflation.
Right.
So as the government needs to pay off, because they owe the debt. So all the bills and everything that you pay, that's why inflation, that's why everything goes up, because you're actually paying off the debt of the government.
Right, yeah.
So that's why your worth goes up in credit.
Right.
So
I think our job is...
It's my understanding that they just tax people. They get a birth certificate. They go to the bank and they say, right, we've got this little pleb. We're going to work to his bone for 65 years, and we can have some money as a result of it. And then they get loans from fucking what's it called, central banks and that.
Central banks.
Yeah.
So,
well, we got to go.
10 minutes.
Go on. You got 10. What?
Laura,
No.
do you think you're going to get in?
When are they going to enforce this dispersal?
Well, if you got to go, you got to go, haven't you?
There won't be anyone from the dispersal.
It's just going to be Laura. Cause
We can fight them, Laura. We can fight them. You're legally dead anyway, so legally and lawfully they don't need to know you've listened unless you've actually committed a crime. Absolutely. Like a lawful,
what are you going to do?
See you later, mate.
You gone, yeah? Nice to see you.
I think we're thank you very much.
have a read of it though, so you understand it.
Can you email that to me?
This is what I...
All of it?
I've got it, I writ this, but
Right.
I will email it to you.
Alright, thank you.
I've written this.
I'll give you some. Yeah, give us a card, please. Yeah, don't. You've done brilliant. Yeah, I'll just get us a bag. Thank you.
Oh, the winner. I was going to say, it's not... Have you invited...
What? What?
Have you invited Michael to the...
Oh, Mick.
Yeah.
There's there's if you go on. Fuck knows. There should be an email address, but there ain't an email address.
I don't even do the queue.
You can't do that, right? If you just, can you give her the email address, please? Right, Mick, there is a private screening for staff and all people involved in the documentary at the end of the month. The one that we done on the what we sat and had a talk about an hour and a half for. That old video from the Jam for Freedom.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
Gym for Freedom, it's called.
Gym for Freedom.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
right. So yeah, there's a private screening of that because he had Nick's video taken down off Odyssey, didn't he? So we're gonna enter it into film festivals and all that sort of stuff.
Okay.
Really do his nut in. So right, because like he thinks he can get it taken off the internet, so we're fucking going film festivals with it. But anyway, yeah, there's a screening of it, 26th or the 27th in Finsbury Park this month.
Oh man, it's in London.
Yeah. No good.
Nah, you know what I'm like with London. That's a shame.
Yeah, but well, there you go. I just
send me the address and the time, and then we'll see what we can do.
Yeah.
I'm doing a thing with Nick tonight, actually.
You are?
Yeah, I'm doing a live with Nick tonight.
Yeah, he knows about it anyway.
About my mate.
Oh right, your mate, yeah, your mate. Right, yo.
Have you been following what's been going on?
I don't like him. He's one of them, mate.
No, exactly. That's what. So I went to war with him.
Yeah, right, good.
So we're
the tosser.
Yeah, that's on. I've been doing that tonight with Nick.
Yeah, I'll watch that. I look forward to it, in fact.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mine's already on Telegram. Yeah.
Right. See you later, Lise. Nice to see you, Sean. Good work, mate. Fair play to you. See ya. You're no worries.
I'll give you. Oh no.
We're gonna. If it's all right with you, we're gonna walk down there with you.
Yeah.
I don't want to walk away. It's just her on my own.
Yeah. Sure.
Right.
We'll give you an escort.
Thank you. You coming? Shall I just make actually?
Just let them know.
I'll do it, please.
We'll see you all. We'll see you all. Starting stuff. Who's been like the only
If you're speaking to everything that's going on, I just wanted to say thank you for actually having a conversation with me. That's all I wanted to say.
Thank you very much.
And yourself as well.
All right. Listen.
Shame. I would say it's a pleasure, but it would only be a pleasure when me and my children are alone. They dragged me out with no warrant. It could happen to your mum, it can happen to your sister, it can happen to your
You've taken an oath to act with due diligence. Due diligence.
I appreciate that though.
It means nothing. It means nothing, Tosser. It means nothing, Tosser.
Met a very short one.
I don't. It's a very short one. So
Very much.
brilliant. Well, that was a shit turnout. Well,
What it was
you got £1 million for it though.
per one.
Per one. Multi-millionaire. You can be my friend.
Isn't it? I know, they're all going to come out. I'm nicking a cup.
Who's it?
It's Nikki's. I'm sure that I'll get done for fair. Have you got my backpack?
How did they nick Angela for criminal damage?
She's in court tomorrow over the BBC. She was targeted. She was the one who put the bloody handprints all over the BBC, and she's in court tomorrow. So as soon as she turned up, she was going to get it.
Do you reckon, yeah?
Yeah, they hit her all the time. They wrestled her outside the BBC.
Yeah, no, Nick Piers on that one and all.
And my mate Steve's just been nicked, so all them lot have gone down.
It's all bollocks though, they'll get some money for that.
Get nicked. So I don't know what that was for.
That was criminal damage and all.
I don't know how.
This is what I mean. No video evidence of that, surely.
I really hope you guys can pay your bills in 6 months.
Look at the state of him. Look at him with his little girl gang in his car. It's off the nut. It's scary, isn't it? Isn't it scary?
They were just sitting there giggling like kids, and I was like, what are you doing?
That's what they do.
The next time. They literally look. My oldest is 19. That's. And you're like, I know. And thanks for the money. I know, that's professional, isn't it?
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
I've just served them and I told them exactly what I'm doing.
None of them.
They think I'm joking.
Sandy, there's all this parking down here for us, isn't there?
Yeah, it was like it was fine.
Thank you very much.
Alright.
It's alright, we're in high spirits because next time,
Here, Rob. Got a quick minute?
Yeah, sure.
Well, I'm not particularly on camera. I just want to know.
So,
what's the crack?
So I haven't paid my council tax for about 1.5 years.
Blinder.
Right. So I got a letter through from the Portsmouth City Council.
Yep.
Saying that I was summoned to appear at the Magistrates Court on the 12th of July.
You turned up. They weren't there.
No. Turned up. They were there.
They were there.
But they were there 10-handed and saying, if you leave the building now, we'll take off the £90 and you can go home. And then when you went home, which I didn't, the other people went home and then they put a liability onto them and £125 for the good measure.
Because they didn't turn up.
But the other thing is, the liability orders that they sent, or the summonses that they sent on the 20th of June, weren't signed by a magistrate until the 21st of June.
Right.
So the 6,000 summonses that they sent out are all fraudulent. But it gets better. I did a request for information with regards to how many people were summoned on that day.
Right.
And they sent me an unredacted list of 6,000 people's first names, middle names, surnames, everything.
That's GDPR, isn't it?
Oh, it's fucking massive. And we worked it out.
You got the list?
Yeah. Want to see the list? I have the list.
What's your email and all?
No,
yeah, wait.
It's like makes Schindler look like an amateur, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'll show you the list. I have the list.
I think he's your fucking...
where is the list? The list is on.
We'll put you on to Pompey.
We'll put you onto there as well. Got council tax freedom in the south coast.
Right. Well, so hang on, I'll give you because I've got a different number.
Your card.
I've got a different.
Oh, you've got a different number.
I've got a different number for for my WhatsApp's a different number.
So you've already got my telephone number.
I've got your telephone number.
Yeah.
I want your email address.
It's Romeo Whiskey Hotel, RWH. I will send you stuff that'll make your toes curl.
Right, yeah. I just want to write a fucking note and I can't find it.
Oh.
Yeah, no, here you go. Sorry.
So it's RWH, Romeo Whiskey Hotel, 717 at msn.com,
Lovely
and I will
stuff.
send you stuff that will make your day.
Yeah.
In fact, it might make your year.
Well, we'll definitely we'll keep in contact and we'll do something.
This is £865 million
That's what
fraud.
I mean. Rob the rat.
Yeah, rat catcher. Rob the rat catcher is in town.
And we've got a big turn up the next council meeting, so we're going to get a load of people down there.
Where's that?
And
Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Fuck.
How far are you away?
Luton. You know, yeah. Well, be careful saying that.
Oh no, that's why I'm whispering.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, we're going to take them.
I've got to go because I've got to pick the kids up.
I'll show you the list quick now.
Yeah. I believe you.
Oh no, I have got it. Is it there?
That's on a public fucking forum.
Watch you see the fucking
absolute mental
What
shit.
you see the list? What you see?
They're eating themselves. They sent that to you.
Oh, it's fucking unbelievable. Imagine sending me that.
I know.
I know of all the people they could have sent it to.
I know.
Oh, wait till you hear this. The woman phoned me up from the Crown Court and said, is there anything I can do for you to make this all right?
No.
I've got that. I record all my videos.
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't think so. What about the other 5,998 people? And she went, oh. And she went, oh.
God, it takes some time to get this whole list up. It's a big list.
It's 1,047 pages long.
No.
Yeah, it's 1,047 pages.
How have they sent that to you?
Because they fucked it up.
Massively.
Yeah, they sent it.
Because they sent it on the computer.
They sent it on the computer, but when I open it up on my phone, I can see it. Is that Davey? Free Tom. Come on, look at the size of this fucking thing. It's huge. Oh, there it's there. Look what you see. Can you see
Look at the size of it.
Look, complaint on Portsmouth City Council.
Complaint
Wait till you see the
list.
top. Look, 1,047 pages. Look, pick a name. Look at them.
Yeah, that's mental. Has it got the addresses as well?
Yeah, my name's on there.
No.
I'm on page 69.
No way.
Yeah, my wife's on there, I'm on there.
That's fucking insane.
We've got 12 people or 10 people currently went down to the police and reported it as a crime. I'll send you the stuff.
Even the copies on the
Right, yeah, we'll definitely have a catch.
It's fascinating.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, this will
Brilliant.
through the fucking roof. Oh, and I'm involved in a £2.5 billion driving examiner fraud.
Yeah?
I've been through 4 years of criminal courts and civil courts, and it's £2.5 billion. Do you know the driving test was set at 49.5% in 1950? Never moved, never changed. And I've got the stats going right back to 73, for 73 years. I lost my job for it. I lost everything for it. Because I challenged a driving test examiner who fucking failed my student for not driving ahead on a left turn arrow. And I said, you can't fail if I'm not driving ahead on a left turn arrow. Yes, I can do what I want. And I lost everything, didn't I?
Yeah.
That's mad.
I'm penniless, I'm fucking broke, I'm on my fucking arse. And I was earning 50 grand a year. And now I don't fucking earn nothing. Nothing.
Dogs.
Yeah, bastards.
Well, Sandy, you can do this stuff now, can't
you? Yeah. This time next year, mothers.
We're in a full-time fucking job.
Right.
We're driving down to Portsmouth.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, that's fucking a fair old whack. That is.
Oh, we go anywhere. It's anybody.
You going back to Pompey now?
Yeah.
Love it, don't you?
I'll send you the stuff.
Yeah, blinder.
Well, the stuff that I'll send you is fucking amazing.
Yeah. If you get on it first, you'll make a load of stuff on it.
Loads of money.
We can't get the mainstream on it.
Sweet. Well, have a look. See you later.
That's my house they've stolen, by the way. That's my house.
Well, you all right?
A lot of lads in. No, I've just tried to dress like.
You all right now, yeah?
Yeah. Where's Nat? Yeah.
Right.
We're just showing the photo.
If you-
Hold on. This is Angela's bike. She got arrested.
No way.
When Angela got arrested, that's her bike.
Is it not secure? Whose bike is it?
She's secured it. It won't last either. 5 minutes.
Find it up the road then. Put it in that petrol finish. Oh, that's what you do. Can you drive it? Can you ride it? We're going to be famous soon. This case is the fucking biggest fraud in the country. The council tax fraud and the fucking driving test examiner fraud.
I've just got to do a quick advert.
Yeah, no worries. I'll phone you.
Yes, nice one, Rob.
I might even wear my uniform.
Right, guys, thanks for tuning in and watching the live re-eviction or eviction of, well, it weren't really an eviction, but we tried. We was trying to get some, what they call that, scoundrels that come into your house. I can't remember what they're called. What are they called? Huh? Who? No, the ones, the fucking squatters. The squatters. We tried to get rid of the squatters. Anyway, long story short, there are t-shirts for sale. If you want a t-shirt, if you're an edgelord, or if you actually just love gollywogs that much and you think they really shouldn't be cancelled or silenced, you can go to the link that's pinned in the chat and get yourself one of these absolute blinders, mate. Make you feel all happy and nostalgic playing with an old teddy bear. So yeah, links in the pinned comment. Thanks for tuning in. See you later.